false claims about the royal family, which played on her fears and fueled paranoia. Displayed woeful incompetence when investigating complaints and concerns about the programme.
She was just 9 years old. But what Princess Charlotte did on this royal outing left not only Princess Kate Middleton, but the entire nation speechless. Even Prince William couldn't hold back his tears. So what changed? And why did this moment matter so much to the royal family? Let's take a closer look at the transformation that stunned the world. It started out like any other royal outing. Polished smiles, picture-perfect outfits, the usual crowd of reporters trying to capture something, anything real. But this time, all eyes were on 9-year-old Princess Charlotte, nestled between her parents, Kate Middleton and Prince William. She wasn't clinging to anyone's hand. She wasn't hiding behind a polite smile. She was leading. And not just with her steps, but with her spirit. People noticed it right away. Not in the way you might spot a new haircut or a growth spurt. This was deeper, quieter. She carried herself differently. Her chin was up, her shoulders were relaxed. She waved to the crowd, not like a child mimicking her mom, but like someone who belonged there. No one expected it. Not the photographers, not the royal watchers, and certainly not her parents. Kate and William had watched their daughter grow up from the very beginning, but this moment caught them completely off guard. They weren't prepared for what they were seeing. This wasn't just their little girl growing taller. It was something bigger, something emotional. Charlotte was changing, and it was happening right in front of their eyes. Was this the same shy little girl we saw just a year ago? It didn't seem like it. Prince William has a private nickname for Charlotte. He calls her mignonette, a soft French word that's never used in public speeches or royal addresses. It's a name meant for quiet moments at home, the kind whispered before bedtime or during car rides to school. It's tender, protective. It says more than any royal title ever could. Because to William, Charlotte isn't just a princess. She's his little girl. And it shows in the way he looks at her during those public appearances. The way he reaches over to fix a strand of hair that's blown out of place. The way he kneels to speak to her at eye level, even when the cameras are rolling. These aren't rehearsed royal moves. They're instinct. Fatherhood, raw and real. For years, Charlotte leaned into that closeness. You'd see her gripping Kate's hand at big events, shy around strangers, hesitant in crowds. But recently, something shifted. It wasn't just her growing up, it was her stepping into herself. There was a confidence that hadn't been there before.
I mean, she's had a lot more practice at it and has shown it a lot more resolutely and obviously than I have. But
one royal insider said the change hit him hardest during a recent event. Charlotte had walked ahead, calm and poised. She'd spoken clearly, smiled effortlessly, and even asked questions without being prompted. William watched in awe, and for a split second, just one, his face betrayed him, his eyes welled up. Because the little girl he called mignonette wasn't so little anymore.
And it's these connections, these relationships, that are founded in the earliest years of our lives.
Behind every strong kid is someone who made space for that strength to grow. In Charlotte's case, that someone is Kate Middleton. Kate has never raised her children like tiny royals walking through life in glass slippers. She's not interested in pressuring them into perfection. Instead, she believes in something simpler, being present. Take the school drop-offs. Most parents see them as just another part of their daily routine. But Kate sees them as moments, opportunities to connect, reassure, and send her kids into the world feeling grounded. She never makes a fuss. There's no media circus. Just a quiet goodbye, a smile, a small gesture that says, "You've got this." One source close to the family said it best. She doesn't parent with volume, she parents with consistency. There was one moment during Wimbledon that showed this perfectly. Charlotte, sitting next to her mother, was surrounded by flashing cameras, loud crowds, and endless attention. And Kate, in the middle of it all, reached over and gently tucked a piece of Charlotte's hair behind her ear. It was barely noticeable, but to Charlotte, it was everything. It told her she wasn't alone, that even in a sea of noise, her mother saw her, understood her, loved her. And that's the kind of love that creates real confidence.
Into our other generations, and I very much feel if I can do it myself, I want to do it myself. And there are times when you can't do it yourself and the system takes over, or it's appropriate to do things differently. But
the public started noticing Charlotte's transformation during the Chelsea Flower Show. It wasn't just that she walked with purpose. It wasn't that she stood slightly ahead of her brothers. It was how she behaved when she got there. She asked questions. She made comments. She didn't hide behind Kate's dress or wait for cues. She looked people in the eye and smiled without hesitation. There was a calm curiosity about her, a sense of presence that can't be taught. Kate and William stood nearby, but they weren't guiding her anymore. They were watching. For Kate especially, it was a turning point. One moment, she was preparing to coach Charlotte through the visit. The next, she was realizing she didn't need to. The look on her face said it all. Surprise, pride, and maybe just a tiny bit of sadness. Because Charlotte didn't need hand-holding anymore. She was holding her own.
I'm as independent as I want to be, and same as Catherine and Harry. We've all grown up differently to our other generations, and I very much feel if I can do it myself, I want to do it myself. And there are times when you can't do it yourself. And
it's tempting to chalk up Charlotte's poise to royal training. After all, she's been photographed since the day she was born. She's been to weddings, state events, funerals, parades. She knows how to smile on cue, wave politely, and sit still for hours. But that's not what this is. This isn't polished behavior. It's not rehearsed. It's real. You can see it in her body language. She walks with her shoulders relaxed, not stiff. She makes eye contact, not because someone told her to, but because she wants to. Her smile reaches her eyes. She's not performing, she's participating. And people have noticed. Royal watchers, journalists, fans, they've all commented on it. Her presence is no longer that of just a cute royal kid. It's something more. It's grace without the pressure. It's poise without the polish. And most importantly, it's hers. This transformation didn't come with an announcement. There wasn't a headline saying, "Charlotte grows up overnight." But it happened. And not just once. It's happening all the time, in quiet moments, in family outings, in the way she handles public attention without flinching. One royal aide said Charlotte's becoming someone who understands the room. She knows when to speak and when to stay silent. She senses when to step forward and when to step back. That kind of intuition usually takes years to develop. Charlotte's only 9. And yet here she is, carrying herself with the kind of calm confidence that most adults still struggle to find. But don't mistake this growth for an ending. This isn't the final chapter. It's the start of something new, a bigger role, a stronger voice, and a journey the world is now watching more closely than ever.
I know there's been speculation about that. I had to practice, I really did. I was terrified that I was going to do some, it was going to fall off or the door wasn't going to close properly. So I had actually practiced with that seat, but only once before.
At the heart of Charlotte's transformation is one core idea. She's being raised to be a person first and a royal second. Kate and William don't load her down with expectations. They're not forcing her into a mold. They're letting her explore who she is before the world tells her who she's supposed to be. And that makes all the difference. When you see Charlotte in public, she doesn't look tense. Her smiles aren't strained. Her posture doesn't scream memorized. She seems comfortable in her own skin. That's not luck. That's parenting. Kate has always prioritized family over formality. Before the royal protocol, before the palace traditions, there's home. There's bedtime stories and morning hugs and dinner table conversations. That's the foundation Charlotte's growing up on. And that's why she's flourishing. Because when a child feels safe, when they feel loved, not for how they act, but for who they are, that's when they shine.
It's been obviously fantastic, and she's been a little joy of heaven. But at the same time, it's a more responsibility looking after two little ones, especially when George is around. He's a little monkey. But
for Kate and William, this transformation has been bittersweet. On one hand, they're proud. On the other, they're a little heartbroken. Because every parent knows this feeling. One day, your child is reaching for your hand, hiding behind your legs. The next, they're stepping forward without you. Not because they don't need you, but because you did your job right. William saw it happen during a recent event. Charlotte moving through the crowd with ease, speaking to strangers, taking it all in stride. And there it was again, that flicker of emotion in his eyes, that catch in his throat. Because the little girl he nicknamed Mignonette was growing up, and he wasn't ready for it. Charlotte's transformation is just beginning. She's not just the Queen's great-granddaughter, she's Charlotte, and she's ready for whatever comes next. Could she become one of the most influential royals of her generation? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like the video. Thanks for watching.